Hello friends, we are continuing with Paradise Lost. We have finished 104 lines, starting from 105th line. And from now onwards, every line becomes very, till 270 to 80 line uh, becomes very important. So the next 170 lines are really important. For the question, is Satan the hero of Paradise Lost? Okay, so there are certain heroic qualities which will emerge from his speech that he says to Beelzebub and to his fallen legions. Is he really the hero? We'll deal with it separately in a separate question. Right now, and the answer will be partial. Partial, we'll see that there are heroic qualities, but then there will be strong criticism against him also. So let's see what those heroic qualities are. Now he's talking to his next in command, Beelzebub. What though the field be lost? What if we have lost the field? We have lost the battle. All is not lost. Everything is not lost. The unconquerable will and steady of revenge, the immortal hate, and courage never to submit or yield. This all things have we have not lost. The unconquered the will to take revenge, the will to fight against God, that is still unconquered, though we may have lost the battle. And steady of revenge, the persistent desire of revenge against God and his injustice is still there. Immortal hate, that we hate God, and that is immortal, never ending hatred, that is still there and that has not been conquered. And courage never to submit or yield. We have the courage, and that courage is, and that resolve is to never submit or yield to God. And what is else not to be overcome? And what is else not to be overcome? We have all these qualities. Our this unconquered will is there, immortal hatred is there, and so what else is required to remain undefeated? So in a sense we are undefeated. That glory never shall his wrath or might extort from me. That glory, that I should yield to God, his wrath, his anger, or his might or his power, even though he may be omnipotent, but that glory of my submission will never extort from me. He will never get it from me. To bow and sue for grace with suppliant knee, that I should bow in front of him, I should submit to him, and I should sue and I should ask him, request him for his grace, for his pardon. With suppliant knee, with bended knees and with folded hand, I should ask that please pardon me and deify his power and worship him as omnipotent, as a god, who from the terror of this arm so late doubted his empire. And that God, who the terror of my arms, that I had so much power that even God was terrified of my power. So late, very recently doubted his empire, that whether he is going to remain the king of heaven or not, that was not sure. And I should ask pardon from him, that is completely unacceptable. That were low indeed, and that would be very low indeed. That were an ignominy and shame beneath this downfall. That I have lost in the battle, but my head is still high. That is something of a strength. And if I ask pardon with bended knees, that would be completely shameful and beneath this downfall. Since by faith the strength of gods and this inferior substance cannot fail. There are certain qualities which are still with us. That the strength of God, we are angels, right? And this inferior substance cannot fail. And inferior means heavenly or celestial. And since we are angels, so we cannot perish, we cannot die, we cannot fail. Since through experience of, so one advantage is there, that we are inferior, we are heavenly substance, we are angels in fact. Second is, since through experience of this great event, in arms not worst, in foresight much advanced, we have this experience of great event. We have become even much more matured after this battle and after this defeat. So we have that advantage. And the advantage is that in arms we are not worst. We are equal to God, almost equal to God in our strength. In foresight, much advanced. But in foresight, in viewing the things that will happen in the future, we are much advanced than God. We may with more successful hope resolve to wage by force or guile eternal war. And we may be hopeful that if we wage a war, since we are almost equal to God in every respect, so we can take another shot and we can try one more battle. We may with more successful hope resolve to wage by force, or either it will be a battle by force or guile, or it will be a disguise, something of that nature. So here again the character of Satan comes out, the true character of Satan comes out. Whether we are in the earlier lines, we are seeing that his heroic quality, that he is not submitting to God, and we feel encouraged and proud about him. But in this line he is saying that he is going to use guile or disguise. Now uh, changing his shape and then enticing Eve, just like Ravan, he changed himself in the Hindu mythology, in the Ramayana, he changed himself into a saint or a sadhu, and then he enticed Sita. Same way here also, he's going to change his shape and he's going to become a serpent and he's going to entice Eve to eat the fruit of forbidden tree. So that guile is there, right? Eternal war, irreconcilable to our grand foe. We are continuing to wage a constant war either by force or by guile against our eternal or grand foe, that is God. Irreconcilable means our interest cannot be, can never be compatible. Who now triumphs, and in the access of joy, soul reigning, holds the tyranny of heaven. Who now triumphs? He has triumphed. He has won his grand victory against us, and in the access of joy, soul reigning, holds the tyranny of heaven. He reigns solely. There is no challenge to his authority, and he is a tyrant of heaven. Now, Satan calls God a tyrant. Now, of course, this is from the perspective of Satan only. So spake the apostate angel. Now, apostate means literally who has fallen from his faith. Or here in this case, Satan has fallen out from God. And therefore he is called apostate angel. Angel because he once upon a time he was in heaven, he was angel only. Though in pain. Though he was in pain because he was floating in the fire. And therefore he was in pain. But he spoke. And he spoke with confidence and he spoke very strong words. Wanting aloud. However, here there is a check from Milton. Wanting means boasting, and he is boasting aloud. Therefore, this word becomes very important because probably the speech that Satan has given or he will be giving may be more of an empty speech. There will be much emptiness in it, much more boasting in it than any substance or truth in it. Right. So there is a check, whereas there are in his speech there are heroic qualities. However, those heroic qualities may be much for showing off, for boasting, and not much substance in it, but raked with deep despair. And again, a limitation of Satan, and a serious limitation of Satan has come. And he's raked. Raked means there is an inward pain inside him with deep despair. Despair means complete loss of hope. He knows that he cannot win the war against God. He knows it inside. Okay, so the words that he spoke are much of empty words than any substance in them. And him thus answered soon his bold compeer. His companion, that means Beelzebub, to whom earlier Satan had addressed, answered him back. O Prince, O chief of many throned powers. O Prince, you're the prince and you're the chief of many angels who used to sit in heaven, who used to sit in the thrones, and that led the embattled seraphim to war. You are the one who led the angels. The seraphim means winged angels of the higher orders. Even in angels, there were hierarchy. Satan belonged to the archangel, he was a very top angel, and seraphim also belongs to the higher angels in heaven. So you took these angels to war under thy command, under your command, conduct or your command, and in dreadful deeds fearless endangered heaven's perpetual king. And it was a very dreadful deeds to challenge God's authority. You were completely fearless and endangered heaven's perpetual king. King, that means God who is ruling in heaven, you endangered his position and put to proof his high supremacy. And how is it that God is holding such a supreme position in heaven? You tested that. You put to trial his this thing. Uh, how is God holding his supreme position, whether upheld by strength? Is it because he is all powerful and therefore he is holding that position? Or by chance? Is it simply by chance that God is holding the supreme position and let's challenge that position? Or by fate? That means it is destiny that God should rule heaven, which is outside. Fate is always outside anyone else's control. So you took the chance, you took the leadership, and you tested God's supreme position. So we'll stop here and we'll continue Beelzebub's speech in our next video. Thank you.